This is ContactTalkRadio.com. Consciousness in action. And you are taking action into your consciousness by tuning into Contact Talk Radio.
And on TuneIn.com, Hing.fm, and UpSnap Mobile.
Contact Talk Radio.
Throughout the nation and around the globe, from his heart to yours, it's Dear James Live on the radio, here on the Contact Talk Radio Network, bringing you intuitive insight, answers, and advice to your life questions.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dear James Live. Express yourself, tell it like it is, and then hear what Dear James has to say. Today's topic, A Little Love and Tenderness. And as I always say, Dear James Live, Express Yourself is an all-call-in show. So have the courage to call in live and talk about what's going on in your life. It does not have to be on topic, so it does not have to be about love and tenderness. It can be about anything that's going on with you in your life. And the opportunity and the brilliance of it is to call in and see what's going on, hear what the universe has to say, and have this really amazing exchange with the universe. So the toll-free number to call in is 877-230-3062. Phone lines are open. The first two callers at the top of the hour, the first two callers receive a 30-minute free intuitive consultation with myself, Dear James. So very, very excited about talking to you today about expressing yourselves regarding a little love and tenderness. Because I really had to stop and when I do these topics, when I choose the actual topics for the show, it intuitively comes to me. And so I do it in that vein. I literally sit down and listen and say, what is it that I should be talking about? Because as I often say, I don't need to be on the radio to hear myself speak. I always want to bring you quality content. I want to ensure that you're receiving the benefit of listening and hearing from the universe. That's the main point of me doing the Dear James Live show. So with that, I always listen, and I listen to the universe. And this one was very interesting because typically I would plan and I would really investigate what the topic is and so forth. And this one kept coming back around as though a little love and tenderness, and that it was meant to be spoken from the heart. And I kept hearing that, and so I was laughing because this morning, where I am usually very, and I use this term, religious about my program, my regime in the morning, this morning got very discombobulated, if you will. And so I was laughing because I said, oh, you're really wanting me to go off the cuff with this one. And they're nodding their head, yes, that's exactly what we wanted. So express yourself, a little love and tenderness. And what I came to understand about the topic and why they wanted us to talk about love and tenderness is really profoundly for one big, simple reason. And that is that we always look for love externally. And when we look at it, and initially we receive it from our caregivers, from our parents and so forth, our moms and dads, or double moms and double dads, whatever it might be, we're looking at it and looking for it externally. And in that same vein, it's being given to us, or we as the caregiver, if you will, are wanting that love, that tenderness coming back at us. We're wanting it externally as well. So what we realize is that love then is an external issue. It's an external item that we have, or I should better say this, we've externalized it. And I don't know, Deepak Chopra and Oprah Winfrey, of course, do many 21-day meditation series. And this current one that they're doing, there was one day, and the mantra was, I am love. And I was listening to this meditation, and it struck me very strongly that, oh, wait a minute. I am love. I am this. I'm not something external of it. It's not separate from me. I am it. And that really, really hit home with me. It was an awakening. And I use that term because if we all stopped and realized we are love, then we wouldn't be looking for it in the form or in the desire or the need that we do when we engage externally. Because in essence, we are whole and complete. When we realize that we are love, then we're not looking for someone to come and complete me or complete us. We're not looking for someone to fill the voids. We're not looking for that external validation. And so A Little Love and Tenderness is all about an inside job. And I wanted to talk about for a moment the fact that the universe has kind of had this theme going as far as with myself in terms of the show and everything, and that it's all about personal responsibility. It's all about turning the lens in as opposed to out. They're wanting all of us to look at ourselves, to look inward, to see what it is that we are missing, to see what we are not seeing, and to realize that it's under our purview. We've chosen this gift called life. We've chosen to walk the path in this incarnation. We've chosen everything. It's a perfect, brilliant tapestry. It's this beautiful tapestry. Your life is a beautiful tapestry. And every single element of it, you chose. You chose whatever fears you may be dealing with. You chose the accolades, the triumphs. You chose the partner, the husband, the wife. You chose the children. The children chose you. The friendships. Everything is being brilliantly orchestrated. It's this beautiful play. Each person's life is a play, and it's a play of their creation. They are the maestro. And once we start realizing that that is how the universe works, that is really what's taking place, that this is all a play of soulful expression. It's your play. And once you realize, oh, it's my play, and when you fundamentally understand, you are either love-based or fear-based. There's only one of the two. Love or fear. And love comes with it abundance, joy, brilliance. All of these beautiful, expanding elements. And as I've said before many times, lack attracts lack, abundance attracts abundance. It's when we realize that if we are love-based, we are going to encounter and draw to us greater and greater amounts of abundance, of love. And if we are fear-based, and fear-based elements are envy, hate, anxiety, many different, the jealousies, the rage, all of those things are fear-based elements. If we operate in that, then life is happening to us. Life is not our play. This is the way we see it. It's not our play. It's happening to us. We've just been plunked down, if you will, inside this uncomfortable show, and we're meant to perform. And it's only after you realize it is your fear, it is your choice to play the role of fear in your own play. Because within each person, within each element, there's a gift. And sometimes we do have to walk through fear. We do have to walk through those elements of fear in order to understand our greater purpose and our greater passions, which are love-based. We are love. And so this theme kept coming back and kept coming back and kept coming back, which was, I am love. You are love. It's not something extraneous from you. You are not separated from love. You are love. And love has been, the word love has been hijacked. It's just been, the I love yous. It's an expression. And the act of love, and if you look at marriage and divorce, and I'm bouncing around a little bit because I want you all to, it's the enormity of the topic. The topic is huge. But its simplicity, its fundamental, foundational simplicity in our lives is simple. I am love. And so I'm going to put out on the Dear James Facebook page an image that you all be able to download. And it's a very simple, it'll be a beautiful image, and it's just going to simply state, I am love. And I would love for you to download that image and place it in as many places as you feel necessary. Sometimes it's on the kitchen fridge. Sometimes it's on the mirror in the bathroom. Sometimes it's on the dashboard of your car. Wherever it might be, on your cubicle at work, wherever you might need to see it. Print this image out and remind yourself every time you look at it, I am love. When you start then operating from that place, when you start realizing and operating from the awareness, from the consciousness that you are love, then you're going to have these fundamental shifts inside of you. You're going to end up seeing this ownership, this new level of interest in your life, this new sense of excitement, accountability, all these different elements that are really quite beautiful, because when you realize I am love, then you won't seek it externally in the same fashion. You'll seek it with a new kind of bounce in your step. You'll come to it with an understanding that you're whole, and that person or persons, whether it be friendships or family or love interests and so forth, when they come into your play, you're already whole because you are love. You're operating from a love-based place. And that is a very empowering place to begin or to start. When we come back after the break, we're going to talk about how when we don't operate in that place, that when we start off on the wrong foot, if you will, that we're looking for love outside of ourselves, how that muddies everything, because your intentions were then not aligned. Well, I should say it a better way. Your intentions were aligned with your lack of love, your need for completion and fulfillment. And that's exactly what the play provides, because that's what you're explaining to the universe, that you're telling them that's where you are, and you're telling them that that's what you need. And so they provide that. They always provide. The universe is always providing. And that's why we have to be very clear and conscious of what our intentions are, or of what our thoughts are, of where we begin. Where are we standing as we enter a new relationship or a new career or a new homestead, whatever it might be? Where are we? What's our intention? So you're listening to Dear James Live here on the Contact Talk Radio Network. Today is Express Yourself, Tell It Like It Is, and then hear what Dear James has to say. The topic is A Little Love and Tenderness. And again, the phone lines are open. Call in and discuss anything you want. The topic is, of course, A Little Love and Tenderness. But again, it's open to any topic, and the universe is there ready to speak to you. So As we come back from the break, remember the phone is 877-230-3062. When we come back from the break, we're going to be talking more about A Little Love and Tenderness.
The desire to be more consciously enlightened is innate. Do you feel there's more to life? If so, find the resource that's right for you by going to DearJames.com/resources. You are the reality you create. Make it a great one. When you ask a question, the universe hears you, and in a multitude of ways, they seek to communicate with you to provide the intuitive insight, answers, and advice you seek. From serious to silly, monumental to mundane, there's nothing the universe can't cover. Maybe the insight you receive is exactly the affirmation you were looking for. Then again, it may just give you a whole new perspective on things. And that's the beauty of the universe. Submit your question to Dear James at DearJames.com and click Ask.
The gift of giving is immeasurable. Give of your time, talent, resources, and money. Give not only because you can, but because by doing so, it is already coming back to you. As a people, we are only as strong as the least among us. Together, we harness the power of the collective whole and see through our deeds the power of miracles, both large and small. Find the charity that's right for you by visiting www.DearJames.com and click on Charitable Giving. One person or kind act really does make the difference.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Dear James Live here on the Contact Talk Radio Network. Today is Express Yourself, Tell It Like It Is, and then hear what Dear James has to say, A Little Love and Tenderness. And as we went to the break, we were talking about the fact that it's where you begin, it's your foundation, it's your starting point that matters, and it's your intentions. And so we're going to come back to that, but I want to go to my first caller, Raul from Seattle. Hello, Raul.
Hello, dear James. Great to talk to you.
Great to talk to you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm actually very excited. I would like to see if you can give me some coaching or some insights about how do I go about moving to a new job, a new arena.
Okay. So you're wanting to move into a new career is what you're talking about?
Yes, pretty much.
Okay. So, is there anything else? Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off.
I wasn't sure if you wanted me to give you more details. I work in a bank and in a restaurant, and I have so many different interests, from the healing arts to exercise, nutrition, and all that. And I think my life is pretty exciting. I think I just need to make one first step in order to make everything unfold. And I'm a little lost with what would that first step be.
Got it. Okay. Well, the funny thing that was coming through before all of that is one simple word, and this is going to be a little bit counterintuitive to you, is what I'm getting, because I can tell from your voice that you go after what you like. You know, you have a very positive energy, and you go after what you like. But somewhere in there, in this mix, is a fear, and I think what I'm getting is that it's a fear of success. That if you really were to go after what you wanted, and it's funny, you've taken some jobs when you talk about the banking and That was banking in what? The restaurant?
Yeah.
Right. That you've taken these jobs in ways, and I use that word, it's funny, jobs. You've pursued jobs because they're safe. And they're exciting for a short minute. And then you get into them and you kind of go, wow, did I do this?
Absolutely, yes, I totally agree.
Yeah. I mean, what I really feel with you, you're like, oh yeah, you know what? I got this new job. It's so great. Da, da, da. Oh, this is what I signed up for? Really? Did I do that?
Yep.
And then, so then it's, and I use this term, take it funny, it's from the movie. It's like squirrel, because then it's like, because I'm dying on the vine over here because I've just now, the euphoria is gone, and I'm in this dead end job is what they tell me. This is what they're saying to me. That you then, your personality is squirrel. You look for the next, because you're like, oh, I'm not, because you are this very energetic, passionate soul. And so, but what you're afraid of is your own power. That's really what you're afraid of. And when we're afraid of our own power, we're then afraid of our successes because we're really afraid to fail. So it's a fear-based thought process. Even though that is the antithesis of who you are and how you interact and everything with life, you're not that. I.e., on the outside. You follow me? Like on the outside, Nobody would ever say that to you. Because your persona is, right? Exactly. He's laughing. I love that. He's like, you're so right. Nobody would ever say that to me.
Yep, absolutely.
Only DearJames can say that to you. So that's what I'm getting at is when you now realize, and obviously we'll talk a lot about this in our 30-minute consultation, but what you really, Raul, what you really have to understand is you're very married to your outside persona. You're very aligned, married to. You understand that persona. The one that you're not comfortable with, and the one that you don't necessarily look at and listen to, is the inside one. The inside persona. You only hear the part of, okay, well, that worries me or that's going to scare me in a way, and so I'm going to only go over here. I'm going to do this. You follow me?
Yes.
And so when you start then keying into what is it that I really want to do, and I have they're giving me a very strong, is it in the martial arts or arts of that nature that you're wanting to do something, do you have a strong interest in health, nutrition, body work, this type of thing?
Yes. All of that combined, it's just a big picture I have.
Right. Okay. So that's really, it's like they're showing me the Wheaties box. Okay. So you know how the champions sit, the Olympic champions, if you will, sit on the Wheaties box.
Yep.
And so they're saying to me that you have a very big idea. I'm going to use that word. And that you're just afraid to implement it. You're afraid to put it all together because you've kind of, A, you've talked yourself into the safe lane, and then B, you're telling yourself why it can't happen. You're always telling yourself why it can't happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So this is going to be a big lesson for you in realizing, and interesting on the topic, a little love and tenderness, right?
Yep.
What you're going to need to do is start understanding your two personalities, because you definitely have two. I'm just laughing. I'm laughing, Raul, because they're making it very funny about here he is out in front of the public. This is who this guy is. And then behind the scenes, there's this other guy. And you're meant to start marrying the two so that you don't want the polarities. You don't want the pendulum to swing so much. You want like a pendulum. When you see it, when you're on the far ends, they're extremes, and they're exciting, but they don't last. The extremes are way out there.
Oh yeah, I'm getting all that. I'm absolutely getting a picture of what you're saying. I'm absolutely getting it.
Right, and that's where when you hold that pendulum, and you notice that the movement, it's still moving. When the pendulum, the beautiful, I forget what they're called, but with the silver balls, and you pull them apart, and you let them go, and it click, 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 back and forth in between. The movement still moves, but it slows itself and it holds itself to where it's this really beautiful rhythm. When it's right, slow in the center, you can feel them, you see them, and it's really quite amazing how the movement, the energy, continues because you don't see these huge swings anymore. So that's what you're meant to do. You're meant to get into this zone where you recognize your fear, recognize that it exists, and you're going to have to own it because it's so counter to who you are, because your public persona, your public identity is so strong that it drowns out your recognition of why you're not succeeding, why you're not taking the steps that you need to take in order to move yourself forward. Do you see that? Do you see how that one?
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to work on in our 30-minute private consultation. We're going to talk about how you move out of that, how you really deal with all of this fear. And I always say this, and I want to leave you with this part, Raul. Fear is your friend, but you have to realize that it's there. You have to realize and own that it's there. And then, because fear is success in disguise. It's fear. It's fear that propels us. It can isolate us. It can hold us. But if we recognize it and we say, you're really there to help me out. You're not there to put me down or hold me down or push me down or any of that stuff. You're really there, fear, to propel me forward. So it's like, okay, this is a good friend, a new buddy I've got. And once you start seeing fear in that manner, and you start saying, okay, what is it now that you want me to overcome? And then you listen, and that's going to be an internal job. And then you take it and you ask this big personality, this big persona that you have, okay, now that we're going to go implement this plan, then you're going to succeed. And you're going to succeed every time because you have fear on your side. You move out of a fear-based living to a love-based living, because for you to realize that, you have to trust, and you have to trust yourself, and you have to trust the universe. And that's love. That's not fear. It's not someone putting pardon the expression, putting the fear of God in you. You must do this or it won't happen. It's not that at all. It's the complete opposite of that. It's a love-based foundation is the word. You have a very brilliant, I'm going to leave you with this. You have a very brilliant idea, and you need to bring it to fruition. Okay? They're really yeah. Go ahead.
No, I wanted to say, trust were the words that, keep coming up, and the love, everything that you're saying is just resonating tremendously. So it's just huge. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely, your idea is big, and it's meant to be, it's meant to manifest itself. So it's really, truly what you were born to do. And so this is more of a coming in. It's an awareness, and it's an alignment. It's a recognition of, I'm going to switch platforms. I'm going to move from a fear-based to a love-based, an opportunity, abundant-based. And then you won't, the funny thing, and I'm going to use this again, but you won't be running around going squirrel anymore, because you're going to be like, you might be doing it within what you're doing, but those moments of squirrel aren't going to be diversion. They're going to be additions. You see what I mean? Because once you're in your groove, once you're in your element, and you're really doing what your soul loves to do, when you yell squirrel, it's going to be because you just added another element or component or, this very exciting, oh my gosh, squirrel.
Yeah.
You see? Not
it will become a signal to that next step more than run away from.
exactly. It's going to be an add to, not a diversion from.
That sounds
Because
absolutely
then-
clear.
Yeah, because it's going to then because it is a beautiful trait. I mean, I'm laughing on my end. If you can see my face, I'm smiling a lot because I feel your personality, and so I know what you're going to be doing, and I know that it's going to be very huge. You just have to give yourself permission.
Oh, that's so exciting! It's just so warm inside that I have to do that. I have to do this.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah. You have to. And there'll be a way. We'll talk about how and all of that and the right, promise me this. Don't go out and quit tomorrow, okay?
No, I won't. I'll hang in there.
Yeah. But it's about transitioning, and it's about really moving and aligning yourself onto your love-based platform, and that's going to open you up considerably. And, you're going to be even more likable and lovable than you already are. So you're going to,
Oh, wow. Thank you.
You're going to be fending them off.
Thank you.
All right, Raul. We'll stay on the line, if you will, and Barb will take all of your information. Then I'll be back in touch to follow up for your 30-minute intuitive consultation.
I appreciate so much your time, your wisdom. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so express yourself. Tell it like it is. And then hear what DearJames has to say, A Little Love and Tenderness. And that's exactly the point. With Raul, who just called in from Seattle, that is exactly the issue. When we start looking at, I'm operating from a fear-based platform, then we stifle ourselves. We limit ourselves. And that's tremendously compartmentalizing, limiting. It just shrinks us. But when we realize, wait a minute, I am living a fear-based existence, or I am standing upon a fear-based platform, and there's another platform over here. I can shift myself over to a love-based platform. It's an inside job. It's an inside. It's not the boss or the opportunity externally from you. Every opportunity you bring to yourself is because you brought it, and it's love-based. And or it's an experience. They're all experiences, but the opposite, the polarity of that, is the fear-based experience. And I don't like using the word opportunity for fear-based elements, because opportunity to me is a very positive word. It's abundant. It's limitless. So when we bring those contracting experiences to ourselves, it really shuts us down. And a little love and tenderness, when we start internally, when we do it with ourselves, and that's the thing that I'm trying to really convey in today's show, is love and tenderness is an inside job. You already are those things. You come from your origin, your energy is love. It's pure. It's pure energy. That is who you are. From there, we then go out into the world and we start growing up, and we then have to make conscious decisions. Are we going to maintain our love, our purity, our goodness, our tenderness? Or are we going to dull ourselves down? Are we going to limit and stifle? Are we going to start moving to a fear-based mentality and existence? Life is happening to me. I'm not creating it. And that's fundamental. That choice is fundamental. But it's the reminder, the universe, the reason they wanted this show, A Little Love and Tenderness, was to remind everybody, you are love-based. You are purity. That is your true origin. That is where you came from. That is where you return. Love. And when you realize, I am love, and I keep hitting this home, I keep saying it, when you start really resonating with that message, with that belief, I am this. I don't need to find it outside of me. I am this. When you use that as your origin, your starting point, then the play changes dramatically. Your personal play changes dramatically. The people you bring into your life when you start on that platform will be drastically different than the people that are perhaps in your life right at this moment. Because you're going to be resonating from a different place. Your energy, your pure love and tenderness energy, that's who you are. So we're going to go to take a quick station break. You're listening to Dear James Live. Express yourself, tell it like it is, and then hear what Dear James has to say. Again, the first 2 callers receive a 30-minute intuitive consultation with myself, Dear James. The phone lines are open. The number to call is 877-230-3062. We'll be back after this station break.
Available for private, individual, group, and corporate consultations, Dear James will provide you with the intuitive insight, answers, and advice to your life questions. Schedule your consultation by going to www.dearjames.com and click on Consultation. The gift of giving is immeasurable. Give of your time, talent, resources, and money. Give not only because you can, but because by doing so, it is already coming back to you. As a people, we are only as strong as the least among us. Together, we harness the power of the collective whole and see through our deeds the power of miracles, both large and small. Find the charity that's right for you by visiting www.dearjames.com and click on Charitable Giving. One person or kind act really does make the difference.
When you ask a question, the universe hears you, and in a multitude of ways, they communicate to you the intuitive insight, answers, and advice you seek. Ask Dear James a question and experience the magic of the universe. Visit DearJames.com and click Ask.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Dear James Live here on the Contact Talk Radio Network. Today is Express Yourself, A Little Love and Tenderness. And before the break, we had Raul from Seattle. So again, the phone lines are open, 877-230-3062. Have the courage to call in live and do it now. Don't wait to the last 5 minutes, because I know that some of you are sitting there and you're like, oh, I want to call in, but I'm afraid. And just pick up the phone, dial, and talk to Dear James. It's always a safe environment. And again, it's on any topic. It doesn't have to be on love and tenderness. If you're looking for direction or something's going on, then you just call in and let it happen. And go from there. So anyways, love and tenderness. How many songs have been written about love? So many. I mean, there's just too many to count. And we're always looking at love as this romantic thing, and this thing where it's always something you're striving for. It's always something that you're desiring. It's always something outside of yourself. And then we always hear well, love yourself more. You should love yourself more. And everybody kind of goes, well, I love myself. What are you talking about? And so it becomes something extraneous from us. And I know I've said that earlier in the show, but it's the point that the universe is trying to hit home. It's not separate of you. It's not external of you. It's not something that you need to find in order to be whole and complete. You are it. Period. You are it. You are love. And so thereby, when you start coming from that place, you'll understand, oh, I've been doing this stuff externally. I've been looking at love. I've been searching for love in all the wrong places, right? There's a hit song for you. So all of these elements are playing in with love and tenderness. I had a woman write in, and I wanted to share with you this piece that she asked in the advice column. And she said, will my current boyfriend love me and marry me? Now, when you stop and think about that for a minute, will my current boyfriend love me and marry me? I was instantly sad. My heart, my soul ached for her, because immediately in her question is a knowing, is an understanding that this person doesn't love her. And that behind that, I thought, well then, and why do you want him? Why would you want to marry this person? Because you already understand that, will he love me? It's, why are you with someone that doesn't love you, that doesn't express their love for you? And that can be in the way they speak to you, the way they interact with you, just the way they look at you should express love. So when we're thinking about that, think about relationships, think about the value that you carry, the love that you are. And if someone isn't resonating with the same level of love, and perhaps in this instance, which is what I explained to this woman in the advice column, was you're resonating at a level where it's okay to be loved in that manner, that fashion. Once you disengage from that and you realize you are love, you'll never ever have to ask that question of, does he love me and will he marry me? You'll know. So I want to go to my next caller, Lee from Washington, D.C. Hello, Lee. Oh, I think we have a technical difficulty here for a second. So I'm going to be coming to you, Lee, in one moment. Again, look at yourselves from a place of love, love-based. And thereby, you'll always know if somebody is ready or not. So let me go now. I'm sorry. Let me go now. We've finished our corrected our technical difficulties. So Lee from Washington, D.C. Hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm wondering if you can give me some insight on a love relationship. Feel like we're kind of to the point where it's make or break, move forward or break up. Men and women communication styles. He tends to be a little macho and uncommunicative, doesn't show a lot of emotion. And I'm just to the point where I don't know what to do.
Well, first of all, when you said, I'm fine, I was going, no, she's not. I'm like, no, she's not. And then the next word I wrote down was break. As in to break away, to get away. And the other word that I wrote down about this gentleman was abrasive. He's abrasive. And so, Lee, this is a huge thing about, again, value in terms our self-value and that we're love.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of went into this with this guy is kind of the right package, but the wrong, when I say the right package, it's like the looks and the what you wanted on the outside is awesome.
Yeah.
The what's inside is horrible.
Wow.
Not a good fit for you. Like he's everything you thought you wanted. The physicality, the looks, the style, the this, the that. He fits that mold. But inside, it's just vacant. It's you feel more lonely when you're together than you do when you're apart. True?
Absolutely. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, you hit that right on the head.
Yeah. It's like you're trying to get him to see you, to acknowledge you, to and when I say love you, not as in needing his love, but love you as in, can you show me love? Can you demonstrate love? And he doesn't do that. He's very arrogant. He's very abrasive. It's all about me. And you're kind of the pretty trophy that I put on my arm. Yeah?
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a huge lesson, Lee, for you. Love and tenderness is about you being loving and tender with yourself. This man is not worthy of Lee. You're far, far more. I'm asking in my head, why did she choose this? And okay, so it's a lesson of, for you, it's a lesson of responsibility and accountability. Meaning, if you were to imagine enduring this your entire life, and as I said that, I just saw you running out the door. She's like,
God.
I'm sorry, what? My whole life? What? And I saw you running. Literally, you're running out the door like your soul was like this. Oh, heck no. So why? So it's about accountability and responsibility for yourself. You can't fix this man, and he's not your problem, and it has no bearing or reflection on your value. Okay. Zero. This has nothing to do with you in terms of you actually have to thank this man. And I always say this, and people are always like, what? Really? You want me to thank this person? Yes, because he showed up and played his part brilliantly so that you would understand your value, so that you would understand what real, true love is. Not something manufactured, not something you buy off the shelf, not something you look for externally, but something right here at home, right here inside.
Okay.
I am love. That's what you need to say to yourself. And, this man. So when you break up with him, oh, God, I'm just smiling. When you say, you know what? Thank you, but no thank you. And do it with grace. Do it with kindness and grace, but thank you, but no thank you. He's going to be exactly who he is. Pay no attention to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. It's all he's gonna have his story, his stuff. That's wonderful. Let him be him. You then walk or run the other direction. Because, I often say, are you done with this lesson? Because you chose it. You chose to learn the lesson of loving yourself, of really understanding your purity, your love, your value, what you bring to the table. And you did it in an extraordinary way. I mean, you chose somebody that has attributes that I'm not allowed to say on air.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So, not allowed to use those words on the air but I can use them when we do our private reading, but you chose well. You chose well in the point of learning this lesson. And so now you have to ask yourself, am I done learning this lesson? And I hope that you are, because again, you're meant to transcend it, not become it. And that's why I asked you, are you done with this lesson?
I feel it's time.
Yeah.
It's time.
It's just, there's so much more. And again, there's a gaggle of girlfriends. You have a gaggle of girlfriends. I'm using that in a nice way. I don't mean it in a poor way, but there's a gaggle of, okay. And they're going to be, what? Oh my God. Are you sure? Oh, but look, and the package. And you ought to turn and say, I'm done with this lesson. Would you like to try it out?
Right.
Okay. Don't let them drag you down or fear you down that you've made a mistake. You have not made a mistake.
Okay.
If there's nothing else you hear from today, and I mean, you'll hear a lot when we do our private consultation, but truly, if there's nothing that you walk away with other than hearing me say to you, you did not make a mistake by choosing to leave.
Okay.
That's all you need to know. And just, put all the girls in check and, stand tall and then walk forward, run forward, but absolutely love and tenderness for yourself. All right.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having the courage to call in and stay on the line. Barb's going to get your information and everything, and then I'll be back in touch after the show and set up your private consultation. All right.
Thank you very, very much.
You're welcome, Lee. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
So, bye-bye. So again, we're listening and we're talking about expressing ourselves, a little love and tenderness. It comes, as in Raul's situation, it came via work. It came about a fear-based foundation transferring to a love-based foundation. And with Lee, it's about relationships. It's about that love and presenting herself with the opportunity to see her own love, to see her own purity, to see her own value, and that she is love. And that when we choose that, when we choose our highest purity, the people that come into our life will match that resonance. And when we're not choosing that, people come in at that level. And so they're gifts. There's always a gift in every experience. We just have to see what it is. Be open to it. Be wise to it. Have fear as your friend and move into a little love and tenderness for yourself. Today's show, Express Yourself, Tell It Like It Is, and then hear what Dear James has to say. A little love and tenderness. I thank you all for listening and for participating. Next week, we have 2 amazing shows. On Wednesday, it's going to be Express Yourself, the Power of Prayer. How, whether you're religious or faith-based or not, and whether you believe in a higher source or you don't, or you're an atheist, how does prayer play into your life? How does it not play? What are the bigger scopes? So we want to talk about the power of prayer on Wednesday next week. And then following that, Thursday at 9 a.m. is going to be my featured guest, Chris Griscombe, who is the founder of the Light Institute. So 2 stellar shows next week. So please tune in, and both at 9 a.m. Pacific on Wednesday and Thursday. And with that, I leave you with my closing thought. No matter where you are, or whom you're with, or what you're doing, wrap yourself in goodness. This has been Dear James live on the radio here on the Contact Talk Radio Network. Carol Reitberger is up next.
You've been listening to Dear James Live on the radio with your host, Dear James. Gain intuitive insight, answers, and advice to your life questions and so much more by tuning in next week and visiting DearJames.com.